So you are a small business owner and you just feel like your brand is not connecting with your customers. Maybe you're not really sure what to say, you can't land on brand colors, or you're just really struggling making that connection and building a community around your brand and around your customers. If you are struggling with your branding, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be walking through the 5 top branding mistakes that I see new small business owners make and how you can avoid them. Your brand is something that should empower your business and create a community around it, so you want to make sure that you are investing time, which is why this video is going to help you. Now, if you're new here, my name is Haley. I am a website and brand designer, super passionate about empowering you as a small business owner to learn how to improve your website and your brand for your customers. If you like learning about website tips, branding tips, small business tips, Squarespace tutorials, or more, hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you follow along and comment below a little bit about your business. Now, let's hop into the mistakes. So the first mistake that I see new small business owners make is not having a clear brand identity. If you're not familiar with your brand identity, it is the pieces that make up your brand. It's not just having a logo and colors, it's also having a mission statement, having ideal clients in mind, knowing what your brand values are, and having a brand message. A lot of times, small business owners skip this step because they're just trying to get customers, but it's important to invest time in building a brand identity and continuing to develop it as your business grows. So to avoid this, take some time identifying your brand identity. I have lots of branding videos for free on YouTube that you can find in the description below. I'll link maybe one above here that will help you walk through branding, your whole brand identity, and where to get started. All right, so the second mistake I see small business owners make is copying competitors. It's really easy to see something working for your competitors and then try to copy it and think that you'll be successful, but a lot of times it's way more important to be different. Let's just take the whole Instagram and TikTok thing for instance. TikTok came out and blew up. People loved the short form video content. They loved the algorithm. They loved the For You page and just how easy it was to blow up on the platform. Now, Instagram saw this, and instead of improving what Instagram was already good at, they tried to adopt TikTok's brand strategy of short form content in their reels. But as we've seen, Reels are not nearly as successful as TikTok, and people actually got pretty upset with Instagram on trying to promote Reels more than normal posts because that's not the point of Instagram's brand strategy. Instagram has always been primarily a photos platform, and that's why people fell in love with it. So when they saw a competitor be successful at something and tried to pivot to do exactly the same, that's where they messed up, and that's where they lost a lot of their audience. In the same way, you want to make sure that you are doing what you're best at and what you're most unique at. Really focus on that in your brand messaging and getting that across to your audience. Even if it's tiny things like little different experiences or maybe small offerings that have a little bit different than your competitors. Focus on those. People don't want to see a carbon copy of something that already works. They want to see something different that they can buy into. Third and really important mistake that I see small business owners make is not utilizing storytelling. We as humans, for thousands and thousands of years, have relied on and utilized storytelling in every capacity. It's the best way for us to learn, to retain information, and it's the most engaging way for us to listen to someone else. So in the same way, you want to utilize storytelling in your business. I see a lot of small business owners when they're first starting out just kind of pushing out, promoting what they have, having short captions, and not really engaging with their audience. There's lots of different ways that you can utilize storytelling. You can tell your own story, how you started your business, your passion behind it, and lead that to how your product or service or whatever brings success to your customers. Build that story and tell that. You can tell the story about your customers and how they feel about your product. Have customer interviews, share testimonials, and don't just like copy and paste a testimonial, but build a story around it and expand from the testimonial and say, okay, this person saw this improvement. Now here is how you can see it as well. Also, utilize fun analogies and examples. For instance, I just saw a copywriter create a post about building a sandwich and how that's similar to copywriting. And that was really engaging and fun to read as a user and kept me really truly engaged throughout the entire post. So again, storytelling. Use it. It takes a little bit of time, especially if you're not a natural storyteller, but it is an ability that we as humans can improve on. Okay, fourth mistake, and one that I'm so passionate about that small business owners make with their brands, is not focusing on your customers. There was this huge wave about, I want to say 6 or 7 years back, where a lot of bigger name small business owners were talking about making a personal brand. And although I do think it's really important and also helpful to have a personal brand, the issue with having just a personal brand is you're focusing on yourself. And here's the deal. People aren't going to care that much about you if you're not focusing on them as well. Your entire focus of your brand should be your customer. They are the hero of your brand. You are not the hero. You are more so the guide or the person leading them to their success or goal as the hero in the story. Also, I do want to add that that entire concept is from Donald Miller's Story Brand, and I totally recommend just looking into that. It's really helpful in figuring out your branding, storytelling, and focusing on your customer. So I have linked his site below. But anyways, back to the customer. It's so important to focus on them, because when they can see themselves in your brand, that's where they feel a connection and community and commitment and loyalty starts to build. So what I usually recommend and what I do with my clients is building out kind of a story about your client interacting with your business, and I use that story brand process, so check that out for sure. But again, every time you create a post, you are sending out an email, you're releasing a new product, make sure that you are engaging with your customer and not just talking about, oh, I think this is so great. Oh, I just created something. Think about how this impacts you as the customer. Okay, and lastly, the biggest mistake that I see small business owners make is not implementing their brand strategy. Now this goes for small business owners that make their own brand strategy and also ones that invest thousands of dollars into brand strategy. I think that people make this mistake because they really think that branding is just a visual thing, but it's so much more than that. You want to refer back to your brand story, your brand tone, your ideal client every time you are creating content for your brand, because a lot of times we kind of get into this silo where we're just pushing out content, pushing out products, all of this, and we're not remembering to go back to our brand strategy and making sure that everything aligns and makes sense for a brand. If we don't have this alignment, there is kind of a disruption between the connection of you and a client, and things start to get bland for them. As you're getting started, every time you're pushing out new content, products, experiences, etc., refer back to your brand strategy every single time until it becomes just totally second nature to you. Because here's the deal. Speaking in a different brand voice, brand tone, focusing on a specific niche is sometimes not really inherently normal or natural for a lot of people. So it does take practice. Okay, so those were the 5 brand mistakes that I see small business owners make. Hopefully this video helped you out and can just help you focus in more on your brand strategy and utilize it to connect with your customers. If you're interested in more branding videos, website videos, or small business videos, I would love to have you follow along and subscribe. And again, comment below, introduce yourself. I love getting to connect with you all, and thank you for watching.